Now let's dive in deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Reverend Robert Hadley, and let's clear up business. Drag Queen Carrot helps launch Ikea's bold new London store. Ikea brought a bold style and queer sparkle to central London. The Swedish furniture giant teamed up with non-binary drag queen Carrot to launch its brand new store on Oxford Street, one of the most iconic shopping destinations. The store is located on appropriately Oxford Street inside the former Topshop building. After a 3-year renovation, the giant space spans 3 floors and a fresh focus on sustainability, including a reshop and reuse section. But it's the flair upstairs was catching eyes. A special display curated by East London drag artist Carrot showcased a glamorous dressing table, shelves for wigs, hanging hands for handbags, and a space for heels and gowns. Carrot's portrait beamed down from the wall above with the words, "A place fit for a queen." Peter Jelkeby, Ikea's UK CEO, called the launch a milestone in our journey to becoming more accessible and praised the store's collaboration with real voices. London Mayor Sadiq Khan celebrated the news, calling the store a huge vote in confidence for London and a key part of rejuvenating Oxford Street. From drag to design, Ikea's new flagship brings inclusion and innovation under one roof. And I will still get lost in that store.
That is the prettiest Ikea I have ever seen. And I mean, Oxford Street is iconic. I used to live in London. I have walked that street. And Topshop, for anyone who don't remember, Topshop is a fast fashion kind of place like Zara and H&M. But they sadly closed down and they left a lot of large storefronts all over Europe and America in the wake of their sudden closure, which is now followed by Forever 21. But I digress. But I would love to have that kind of Ikea here, you know, instead of
I think it belongs to Sawgrass.
Like
that belongs to
a sterile Ikea that we have. I mean, I would love to have an Ikea in the Regency building, just magically transported to Fort Lauderdale.
No, and I think that the promotion of Carrot and the whole collaboration is amazing, because I had heard some things, and, you know, sometimes you say it's a propaganda, but that, you know, maybe Britain was becoming more conservative. So I find it refreshing. I think we need that. We need to embrace artistic expression, not only here, but you know, celebrate it abroad as well.
Well, I think that you're correct. There was a worry at the time, actually, very recently, that Britain is going more and more conservative. Yeah. But ever since the conservative government was screwed everything up, and people are sick of Brexit, and people are sick of and they are sick of billionaires and colonizing culture, etc., etc., etc. So I think Labour is safe for the time being. So hopefully.
You know, this looked like a very nice thing, and I have some IKEA furniture in my house.
Who doesn't?
You know, but
how'd you put it together?
I can't remember how I put it together, but it was simple. But anywho, but I always want to remind people with these sorts of stories is corporations are at best always a fair weather friend. It's nice that IKEA did this. Do not assume like that they are a person. They are an institution that when the wind's in their favor to do this with us, they'll do it. If it's not in their financial interest to do it with us, they won't even remember.
Actually, you brought up a good point, because as of today, according to Joe Jervis, great blog, go follow it. Several corporate donors of New York Pride, the biggest Pride there is, are pulling out. Some of them including PepsiCo. I don't remember, several well-known brands, and they're pulling out because all the corporations are afraid that they will receive retaliation from who. You know.
I mean, we're noticing that here too. You know, I'm the production team of Stonewall Pride, and we're not getting the same corporate sponsors we had in the past. So we're working harder to get the corporate sponsors in. So we're recognizing it everywhere. Yeah, so it's nice that Ikea is doing that at least now. Yeah, let's see. Hope it lasts.
And I've been saying both here, and I've written in the Advocate magazine and in Washington Blade for years, like, Pride is a little too addicted to corporate money. I understand that we want big, expensive things, and corporations are willing to give you that money, but we also don't have a plan B for what we're experiencing right now, which is corporations are fleeing Prides. And like, I've only seen one. We did a story a few weeks ago about, I can't remember which Pride, raised 50 grand to make up the corporate whole, but I don't know how many other Prides can handle that now.
It's time for us to start building those kind of financial infrastructure the conservative side always has, which is kind of just unlimited money from billionaires. There are progressive billionaires out there. There are several.
The Gill Foundation can't fund every Pride event in America, Bobby.
Well, you know, with our president who threatens, you know, in a retaliatory tone, or, you know, I think we need to look at again, becoming more self-sufficient. But this year, I think, especially in 2025, you know, it's hard to keep up with what corporate sponsors and stores are carrying Pride wear. I think we need to pay attention this year, but then we need to support those stores and promote them. And I'm not necessarily saying boycott the other brands, but really pay attention to who's supporting us this year and let the other businesses see how powerful we can be.
In some cases, though, I think that the boycott is actually paying off. For example, Target is actually declaring a loss in this quarter. They have drastically down in traffic, and now even the CEO is like, oopsie daisies, we made a mistake. You're not forgiven until you give us back our Pride display and everything goes in the front window.
Personally, I love the Don't Buy 2025 campaign, which is just spend as little money with these corporations as possible. Remember, all these companies that we're talking about, almost every single one of them, either them or their owners back the current man that is retaliating against them. I'm like, well, they got what they wanted, so are they really our friend?
Leopard face, etc. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.